In motion, the tight end. Right to the air is Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Webster. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. They work now on 2nd and 9. Jackson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. You talk about this Bengals defense. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And part of why they came into this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now, on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Burrow. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Throwing is Jackson. Drops this underneath. It's Mitchell. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
To throw again is Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Yo. You are X.
In motion left, that's Thornton. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. Oh, that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Jackson will throw again. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35. Here's Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Ravens in trouble to start play, 6 and 8 on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Dancing to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
No, we changed it. Hey, middle. Shut up.
Now it's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. Jackson now. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now a 2nd and 10.
You are X. You changed it.
Here's Jackson to throw. Did he get the feed down? Yes. Touchdown. Tyquan Thornton with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have. You absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here we go. Here we go.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. And he's got some space here. And it's there he goes right side. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two.
Hey, report.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. And he's got it. So the try for two successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep. 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 11 Thomas.
Now Burrow.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. Down to the 10.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase, 70 yards. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Evan McPherson for the extra point.
And this is back to a 5-point game. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it as we resume action. Here's McPherson now to send it away.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Play action. Now Jackson toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They run over center with Mitchell. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and a couple. Another run with Mitchell. And he stopped immediately there. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. To throw is Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Now it's Jackson. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? This will be caught by Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Let's go.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
11 MP, pace. 11 MP, pace.
Now it's Burrow. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Brown is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
Hey, middle.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Thirteen. Hands up. Report! Go.
From the gun, Jackson. Completes this one to Thornton. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Second down and 4.
Brings us 2nd and 4 at their 48-yard line.
Change it.
Again, Jackson. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Here we go. 11 mighty.
Burrow looking to pass. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
11. Here we go.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. That is caught. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
He will find his man Chase complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Jackson from the shotgun. And incomplete on the deep ball.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, Alpha, tonight. Middle. Go ahead. Hey.
Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Here we go. 12.
Here's Burrow. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
On 1, ready?
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
11.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Burrow will throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Report.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome
welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around and out.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Jamar Chase
with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others.
And the Bengals come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 23.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now it's Jackson.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
It's now 3rd down.
Go. 13. Shut up.
They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The offense staying out there. They're at 50%, 2 for 4 thus far in the game. What can they do here on 4th down?
Hey, come on. Hey, Ozzy, shut up. Shut up.
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Jamar Chase
from 17 yards out.
And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
14. McPherson, the kickoff for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26
Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing is Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Ravens 14. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. Jackson on 3rd and long from his end zone. And now here is another interception. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Ravens 14. McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And the kick team down there quickly. They don't have to run as far as they used to, and they're able to stop him before he can even make it to the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
180. Middle. Go right here.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Complete. This is Mitchell. And they'll get him down here at the 23. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Jackson will throw again. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Hey. 180.
Here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Now it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he's brought down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43. Right side, Thornton with it. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 5.
Ozzy, sit up. Ready, shot. Hey, middle. Ozzy, ready? Sit up.
And Jackson throwing once more. He finds his man complete. That's Webster. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
180. Ready, shot. We change it. Ready, shot.
Jackson. And he gets this to Thornton. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
7 yards. Complete to Tyquan Thornton.
To throw is Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Oh, the
comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And look at this, the punt team is out there. Somebody better give them the memo that it's second down, that he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled.
Yeah, he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
It's another first down on a big gainer there, 33 yards.
Middle. Go ahead. Sit up.
From the gun, Jackson. Looking for the crossing route, and he's got Mitchell. And down inside the 15 he goes. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10.
What?
First and 10
Sit
at
up.
the 14-yard line.
Yeah. Hey.
To throw again is Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Tyquan Thornton with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game.
And the Ravens get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Hey, Ozzy, sit up. Ready, shot. Hey, middle. Ready, shot.
Jackson now. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Miles Murphy,
he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Ready, shot.
Jackson. Got his man. It's Thornton.
The Ravens on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
You change it. You.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And my goodness, another interception.
Inside the 20. And they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now Burrow. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Burrow. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
11 MT, take.
They'll try and run for it with Brown.
And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
11. Here we go.
They'll give it here to Brown. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Right back to Brown. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
You can almost feel him thinking as he's running the football. Just one more block, anything to get me to the perimeter and around the corner. Couldn't quite get there. Ends up getting spilled for a loss.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this.
And now here is another interception.
Racing to the end zone.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now Jackson. That is caught. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one.
And my goodness, another interception. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base.
Report.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. And now here is another interception. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching.
And it'll be intercepted. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
And he is going to be stopped here for no gain, and that is going to be the final play of this football game. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high.